What's up, guys? It's me, girl cat Corelli. This is episode 321 of my Cat Vibe series. Today, we are painting the cover art for the second single off of the Sunset City album called Run! Exclamation mark. And apparently, I'm painting a girl who is running. The events of this track are taking place right after whatever was described in the previous track, which was called Giants. Only, in Giants, the cover art for Giants features a little girl, roughly 10 years old, 10, 11, 12 years old, whereas Run features a young woman, possibly a teenager, somewhere around 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, basically. And that is because, the struggle with the giant took a long time. And then, finally, the girl is running away. So, well, I, of course, recommend for you to read the lyrics for Run and read the lyrics for Giants and kind of follow the storyline of the album and draw your own conclusions. But this is my intent. This is intentional. In this cover art for Run, there is a grown girl running, not a little child. A child was not exactly able to run away, but a young woman, a girl, a teenager, she's well capable of that. So, I have painted this one relatively quickly, even though it had its own challenges. Once again, as you can see, just like in the previous painting, I kind of filled in the sky pretty quick, because again, it gives me a very good feel of what's going to happen to the subject matter, what's going to happen to the girl herself. And it's particularly important because she has this white cotton dress, and there are highlights, and then there is shade, and the dress is wet, and she's running down a creek, and there is all of this, and it's kind of in the morning, or maybe at sunset, we don't know, but the lighting is rather complex on her, and for that reason, I think it's morning, actually. I think it's morning. And for that reason, because she's kind of in the shade and she's kind of juxtaposed against the light source, which again is to the left, low on the horizon, it was important for me to block in the sky first and foremost and kind of set the stage for painting her. So, and I had to move quickly because while the paint was still relatively wet, even though it took me several sessions, you can see my clothing changes. That is because it indeed took me several sessions to paint. But still, I was painting every day, like I usually do. There is virtually not a single day that I don't paint. And this painting, I believe, took 5 sessions, 5 or 6. I'm still using a fairly large brush, switching down to smaller sizes. I'm deliberately not switching over to a small brush. At least I'm deliberately trying not to do that too early. And this is too early for a small brush. One of the reasons why I'm trying to operate with a larger, broader brush is because I want to retain motion. And that's kind of important. I want to keep it painterly as opposed to realistic because she's in motion, because she's running. So I don't want her to look clinically perfect. She kind of looks weird right now, but that's okay. Made a few mistakes. I'm trying to rectify that. 2 big challenges. One is that the light, her head is turned, her face is turned away from the light source. And 2 is that she's in motion. And she's running, so she's kind of pale because she's kind of scared, and at the same time she should have some red in her cheeks. So, like, multiple things that I should consider at the same time without trying to be too realistic. One of the things that I do is I when I get tired of a certain area, or I feel that I am getting stuck on a certain area, I just switch over to a different area, which is next in importance. Like at this point, I think that the dress becomes kind of really important, and it's necessary to block in the warm and cold hues and generally kind of set the tone for her body. What does it look like? What does it feel like under the dress? Well, and the hands, of course. Currently, I'm working on the cover art for Tunnels, Bleeding Life. This is the single that's going to come out on November 22nd. It's another 10-minute long track. I'm painting the main cover art right now. And then, if I want to be in time with the fourth single, I will have to switch over all of my efforts to the fourth single called High Sky. And that will require of me to paint yet another painting, of course, for the cover art. So I think right after this painting, after finalizing the cover art for Tunnels, Bleeding Life, which will come out on the 22nd, November 22nd, I will have to go ahead and paint the next single and work on that next single, because the track is not even written right now. As of right now, it's just not finished. It's a lot of work. But I already know that Tunnels, Bleeding Life, which is the third single and the third track on the album, a long track, 10-minute long track. Aside of the main cover art for the single, I want to paint another 2 large paintings. One is going to be a kind of underwater painting, and the other one is going to be 2 girls running down the tunnel, because, you know, according to the song and whatever's going on in the song, that's kind of what's going on there. So I want to paint 3 paintings for the third single, but the cover art for the third single will come out first when the single drops, but then the 2 other paintings associated with this single, they will have to come later, because it's just physically impossible to do that much. I just won't be in time, and I don't want to rush stuff like this. I want things to happen at the right speed. In whichever case, it looks like Sunset City will have, as of now, it has 15 tracks which are planned. Some of them, the music is already written. Some of them are not written even at all. There's just a title, a placeholder title for them. I know what the story is, and I start to estimate how many paintings will accompany this album. And I mean like paintings like this, larger paintings, not small studies, but actually large paintings. And it's going to be more than 15. I think it's going to be beyond 20, most likely. Here's the finished painting for Run, for the cover art. Here's what it looks like. And expect Run to drop on October 22nd. That's when it's going to be released. I will encourage you to click the link and pre-save it on whichever platform. I will also encourage you to go and check out the link in the description and go check out my Etsy store for original paintings, original oil paintings. Some of them are framed, some of them are not framed yet. Check it out. And of course, if you like my channel, if you like my content and you're watching for the first time, please subscribe. I'll appreciate this. Well, and with that being said, you will hear me on the next episode. Ciao.